Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome and happy, if you're listening live, happy Thursday. Welcome into another absolutely fantastic, fun, filled, informational. Obviously, there's going to be a rant. Another episode of DisFluencers live here on Brandy and Dave. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. It is a lovely, lovely Thursday in Pennsylvania. It was actually below 80 today, so we'll take it in a heartbeat. For those of you listening on all of the podcasting platforms, appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for being here. Today's guest, we are making a foray into something that is near and dear to my dis and that lineage, which is cosplay. We have never done it well, ever. At least I haven't. And we're here to get some lessons from the one, the only, That Tall Princess on Instagram and TikTok, Naomi. Naomi, welcome in.
Hi, thank you.
Thanks for being here. You're fresh off of hashtag con life, right? Like,
oh my gosh, going hard. Yep. And then Florida also. I've been all over the place.
What was Florida?
My sister lives in the Orlando area, so I was
nice.
just at Universal and Disney World. I'm all
now,
over.
Now I'm just jealous.
I know. I'm sorry.
Absolutely, it's okay. It's okay. Cool. It's Orlando, right? Yeah, love that.
Yep.
Just all over. Fantastic. So Comic-Con just ended in San Diego, right?
Yeah, and that's where I live, so it takes over the whole city, in my opinion, at least.
That's crazy. So Naomi, how did you? Let's just start at the beginning.
Okay.
What drew you to cosplay? How did you get into cosplay? What's the whole backstory of That Tall Princess?
Okay. Wow, that's a big question.
It's just we're good. We can jump off from there. So
okay, yeah. I feel like I've been dressing up my whole life. I feel like anybody that does cosplay usually just is like a costume person in general. But I did a lot of like theater stuff as a kid. My mom sewed. She always made my costumes like for Halloween. Would ask what we wanted to be, and we got like really outlandish with the ideas. It was really fun. So like we're always like a costume family, at least like minimum 3 costumes per Halloween. So our house was just full of them. We put on plays and stuff. But then in college, I saw a Craigslist ad that said, "Do you want to be a Disney princess?" And so of course I clicked it, and I went to audition at this little tea house, and they were hiring princesses, and I'd never heard of like this princess at a party thing. Like I never had a princess at my birthday. I was scared of the characters at Disneyland when I was a kid, so like right. I didn't know anything about it, but I sang a song for them and they hired me, and I started working for that company. And then Frozen came out. I started making my own costumes, did my own parties, and then I started following people on Instagram and saw that cosplay was like a thing that I could just do, and I didn't have to make like 10 costumes per Halloween to like get my fix of costumes. I could just do it all year round. So right. Now here I am with a whole craft room and a shed full of like at least 20 bins of things that I've made. So I'm in a little bit deep now.
That's the best about any hobby. I
can't stop.
So with that, is it anything you get into, you go that deep? Like, is that a thing?
I mean, I think this is probably like the longest standing thing. But yeah, I mean, like in general, I'm like a hobby person. I just like to, I don't know. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I know that's not like a great phrase nowadays, but I don't know. I like to do a lot of things, but I'm also, my brain kind of like goes all over the place, and I can't like really focus on getting really, really, really good at one thing. So I don't know. Cosplay just helps me dive into a lot of different types of things. And I don't know, slowly yet surely I'm getting good at a lot of them, I guess.
That's awesome. You know the rest of that phrase, right?
Yeah. Well, I forgot it, but it turns out to be better, right?
Yeah.
Do you have it up there?
A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
So, I mean, it's honestly, and this is something, because I'm in the same boat, right? I am 100% ADHD. That as soon as I find something I love, whether it's YouTube or guitar or brewing beer or there's several others,
That's awesome.
right? It's just you go through and like you just accumulate all this knowledge, right? And I remember the whole like, jack of all trades, master of none, and you're like, that's me. I'm the guy that has enough random knowledge to get me through, like, I don't know, a 300 level course and a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I just saw this, and it's funny that you said that because I just saw what the rest of the quote was not long ago, and I finally like started wearing it as a badge of honor. So you should do the same.
Okay, I will. I like that.
For sure. It makes for a more well-rounded person.
I agree.
And it's you're not always cosplaying Disney, correct? But mostly at this point.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I started off just making princess costumes, just for my own business. But then I started to get known as like the princess cosplayer, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's literally my Instagram handle. Like, I'm very tall.
Right.
I'm 6'1". So when people would see me at a con in a princess costume, like, you're that tall princess. And so that's why I changed my Instagram handle to that. But but then fantastic. I don't know. I love princesses, but it's not like they're not my, I don't know. People associate me with them because I do them often, but they're not my favorite, I guess.
Right.
I don't know if that's
what's your favorite then? What would you rather get into?
I really like effects stuff, like horror makeup, and I want to get more into, I don't know. I really like the zombie looks and just like really creepy stuff, but I have found that when I post too much of that kind of stuff on my page, I know a lot of kids or like younger, big Disney fans follow me. So like when I post that, I scare some people off, which, like, sorry, I like warned to, like, in October, I'll probably be posting this. So like, mute me if you want to, but that's like my favorite kind of stuff to do. Well, I really enjoy it.
It's coming up on, it's coming up into that season.
Honestly, like, I keep scooting it up further and further. I'm full swing in it already.
I kind of went off on another stream recently. I kind of rant a little bit, and I can't handle it. I can't handle that Og 1 is Disney's. Hey, it's spooky time.
Yeah,
it's crazy weird. Like we used to, we get the Disney once a year. Roughly, that's kind of the plan. If we're lucky, maybe more than that. But it's usually, because Brandy teaches, it's always in the summer. So it's usually June. Sometimes we go in August. Sometimes we'll like double the whole AP thing, right? So buy in August one year and then get August and the following June, right? So we've gone in like mid-August before, and there was nothing. Like, this is pre-COVID, and now they've pushed the party up so much that
it feels weird. Yeah, and it's still so hot here in SoCal that it's like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was 101 with 106 degree or 110 degree heat index in Orlando yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
What are they going to do tomorrow? The first party is tomorrow, Friday, August 11th.
Wow.
Yes.
In Florida or here too?
In Florida. I don't think Oogie Boogie's till a little bit later. But yeah, the first Mickey's Not So Scary, Very Merry Runaway Railway Halloween Party or whatever it's called is
wow.
not crazy. Too far into the future, like tomorrow. So
wow.
So yeah, so it's crazy.
See, I'll take the like, I think it's ridiculous. I'll say that. I'll take it because I have a 12-foot skeleton up in my house all year round. Like, I love this. Awesome. I love Halloween. But I can see why people would be bothered by it if that's your only time to go during the year. Maybe that's not your favorite. Christmas is the one that really bugs me. When it's like, Halloween's over, time for Christmas. Right. That one I'm like, okay, calm down. But not to say I don't want Christmas.
I am as well. Brandy is not. She could have Christmas all year long.
Yeah.
And speaking of,
oh, is she here?
For the first time in forever.
Yay! For the first time in forever.
And by the way, your chair choice definitely doesn't do well with the green screen.
Wow.
Does it disappear?
Hi, Brandy.
We have to share. We don't have.
Oh, that's because I always like make you do it by yourself.
It is.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Yes, nice to see you. Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay. I heard your hair. It looks great.
Thanks. The roots were out a little bit, so I had.
I had to do my hair too.
It looks nice.
There's no hair. So at any rate, Halloween, right? You've done both parties, I'm assuming?
I actually haven't done the Florida Halloween party. No, only the Disneyland one. I love it.
That's the only one I've done as well.
I really would love to go to the Florida one. It's just hard to get over there during this time because
Right.
I too am a teacher, so my schedule is kind of like yours, Brandy.
Yeah, you want to go other times a year, but it just doesn't work out, right?
Yeah, it's easier for me to like pop into Disneyland, but not so much Florida. So. It's so much fun though. I love the Oogie Boogie's party. I highly recommend it to anybody listening that hasn't gone. It's really cool.
So it was my first time at Cali Adventure ever was that party.
Oh.
It was during D23. So that was my first time. That was my first time West Coast Disney ever.
What?
Yeah, it was D23.
Oh,
she still hasn't been. I wasn't even going to go into Disneyland until we had CM friends who just like got us tickets. and I'm like, I called her. I'm like, do you care? She's like, no.
Oh, that's nice. I would have been like, no, don't go without me.
I mean, inside I kind of felt like that, but I was like, well,
okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the original Disney person, so
you can say nerd. It's okay.
I was going to, and then I stopped myself.
It's all good. So Halloween cosplay, right? What's on the docket this year?
We actually haven't decided yet. We have a group chat with like 12 girls, and I told them I cannot think about it till Comic-Con's over. I was just in Texas and Arizona and Orlando. Like, I've been everywhere, so it's next week is when we're gonna figure it out. So we'll know soon. But we were trying to figure out if we're gonna stick with our theme. 4 years ago, whatever, pre-COVID, we did all of the princesses like rag versions. So, you know, like the not ball gown versions of princesses. Right. And it was really fun. It was really popular for me. Like, I'm a princess every weekend. So like, it wasn't my favorite personally. Cause like, I don't know. I don't really care about princesses anymore. But then the next year I suggested to do the princes. No, wait. Yeah. We did the princes the next year. So we all did like full drag, the prince version of whatever princess we were. So I was Jasmine and then I was Aladdin. And then the year afterwards, we did the villains. So then I was Jafar, and that was really fun.
Jafar looked great.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely great. Yeah.
Thank you. It was, I don't know. There's something about like cosplaying men and that I'm 6'1" that like when I like feel like I do a pretty good job at it and I actually like convince people that I'm a man and then I talk and it spooks them, like they like jump back. Or I'll walk into the, you know, women's bathroom like confidently as a man and then like I hear like little shrieks in the bathroom. I'd like warn people like, I'm a girl, I'm sorry.
I'm just really good at this.
Incoming.
I did Gandalf once at the Hobbiton in New Zealand where they filmed, and I was walking around. I did like this effects nose and everything in the back of the car. We're in like this rental car, and I'm like, I have to be Gandalf for this. I like brought it all the way with me to New Zealand, and I'm like walking around, and people thought that I worked there, so they would come up and try and take pictures with me, and then I talk, and they would like jump away from me. What is this young voice coming out of this old man? It's awesome.
That's great.
When did you do New Zealand? Because now you've piqued my interest.
Oh my gosh, it was the most incredible place in the whole world.
Awesome.
We did that right before COVID. It was December of 2019.
Wow.
So, yep.
How was all the? I'm also a Lord of the Rings nerd.
Oh,
so
yes, you are.
How was it? That's all. It's on the bucket list to get there for that and for fly fishing.
It's perfect. I don't know about fly fishing because that's not my jam, but I can't wait to hear how you like it there. It's the most every place like we rented a car and did both islands. We drove all the way through and just like we didn't stay in the same town twice. We just drove all the way through it. And every single city and every landscape you drive through looks like a different. Like we would be like, oh, that looks like London. Oh, that looks like Ireland. Like, oh, that's Arizona. Like everything just changes so fast. It's just the coolest place. 10 out of 10 recommend. The plane ride is brutal. It's a long, long way to get there, but It's incredible. and the New Zealand, like all the Lord of the Rings stuff, you can go on full tours and see like Mordor and like where Rivendell's like kind of themed after, and like the Hobbiton itself. They have the Green Dragon that you can go into, and it's just so magical. I love it.
That's awesome. And you're flying from SoCal, which is 5 hours closer than us.
Oh yeah, it'd be really bad for you guys.
I feel like we're like almost exactly opposite of where New Zealand is on the globe.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, spend at least 2 weeks there when you go. Like 2 weeks is like try and go for longer if you can.
That's like minimum.
Yeah,
I feel if I'm going that far. We've talked about this, like going to Europe, right? Like I have this thing where I feel like, you know, I'm not a huge Disneyland fan. Is just
no, I'm just kidding.
I know, it's okay. But like for us to go to Cali, it would have to be 2 weeks, and it wouldn't just be Disney. And that's why, because I would rather go. We're both kind of bubble people. We want to go to Disney, get inside the bubble, and just shut it off for a specific amount of time. But like that's what Europe would be. It's like it's got to be a month, because I want to hit. You know, I want to spend 3 days at Disneyland Paris, but I also want to go run around the UK and go into, you know, Northeast France and get into Belgium and just like try every single lambic and wine that's in that. Like, that's just, it's my jam.
You
so
nerd out.
I do.
Yep. And I love it.
I do.
I'm here for it.
And to do that, you need to have money.
Yeah, that's go gallivant around Europe. You do need that.
Well, the funny thing is that the cost of what Disney World is these days, I'm pretty sure we can do a Europe trip.
Oh man, it's so crazy. Luckily, I have a lot of friends who work out there, like what you were saying with how you kind of wait. But yeah, my sister works for Universal Studios now. She used to work for Disney, so she was like always my hookup. But I can't believe families like of 5 kids out there, and they spend a whole week. It's I don't know. It makes me feel really sad, like that not everybody can do that, because I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't have friends working there. I wouldn't go to Disney World. It's too expensive. But.
Yeah, World's at a weird tipping point right now, where if they continue to increase prices, they're going to see a decrease in crowds. But you know, and I can talk ad nauseum about this. You know, years ago, they were putting out you know, questionnaires post stays on, you know, income brackets, where they're at, you know, where they're at. And all they're trying to do is get 80% of the business from the top 20% of earners in the US. So basically anyone with household income over, like, I want to say it was like 150 or something like that was what they were shooting for. So it's odd. And it's crazy, because by the time, I mean, we try to budget it. Like, we rent points, right? So we rent DVC points. That's the best value out there for what we want to do. Obviously, check food as much as we can. Get stuff from Walmart, or you know, you can get everything delivered now. It's crazy. Yeah. But it's crazy. Family of 4, and it's
people save up for years and years, and then they take their trip, and you really have to pick the right time. It's like now, if you go in August, you have to know you're getting Halloween at like that, you know. For rides and stuff for Christmas relays starting November 1st or whatever. I don't know.
It's like it's August. You now get Food and Wine and Halloween.
Well, at least that's like 2 things at once.
True.
It is.
Because we used to just miss things.
Yeah, we used to just miss Food and Wine. Which have you done Food and Wine? You've done all the parties.
No, I haven't done Food and Wine. No, but I always want to go because I miss it. And then I've done the Flower Festival once, but I just missed it this last time too. So it's hard to plan. I don't know.
Well, Flower and Garden's better.
Okay.
I did like the Flower and Garden, minus the love bugs. That was like love bug time. So that was kind of.
Oh, you like little people.
They're like these little bugs that like. Oh. They like invade the parks. They were getting caught in my hair.
They're called love bugs?
Yeah, well, they're like, but they're not like lovable. They're just like big bugs that are on everything. And it happens usually around Flower and Garden, but we just happen to I don't know what the real name is for the bugs.
I don't know. There's some beetle.
But like I was really enjoying it, and then all of a sudden they must have just all hatched. They were like everywhere. It was scary. We were like screaming. It was just our daughter and myself on that trip, and we're like, there's bugs everywhere. We're like running around.
Hey, it gets you to each like destination.
Right.
Pick up the speed. Get to the next ride.
But yeah, Flower and Garden is a nice one. I would definitely go back for that.
I love that spot.
I don't know. I just be prepared.
I am confused though. I will say about, I know like we're supposed to be talking about cosplay, but Epcot.
We can talk about whatever.
The way that the Epcot is like kind of transforming into like, I just rode the new Guardians ride, which is like the coolest ride I've ever been on in my entire life. I'm obsessed with it. But then I know they just are, I don't know if it's open yet, but there's like a Moana area, and my sister worked on the Frozen ride that's there now too. And it seems like the cohesiveness of it is getting kind of like, they don't really know what they're doing anymore. It like used to be this like beautiful like world showcase. Everything was like the future and then the world, and now it's just like Moana, Guardians, the world, like love bugs.
The invasion of IP into Epcot is
what is IP? What's IP?
Intellectual properties.
Thank you.
From Disney.
Thanks.
Yes. So
I'm the simple one.
So like Frozen in Norway made sense, and they made it work. Sorry, I'm on your hair. I apologize. Frozen in Norway works. Like Little Nemo in the Living Seas works.
Yeah.
Guardians on that side of the park doesn't work.
Future, I guess.
Yes, but if you remember from 2019, D23, they were renaming the whole front of Epcot into 3 different things. It was no longer Future World.
Oh, I don't.
It was like something, and then Moana Land, and then other something. I forget what it was. It wasn't Moana Land, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, it was like what?
This
water? I don't know.
Huh. I don't know. Well, I could look it up.
It doesn't make any sense. So they need to work on that a little bit.
Yeah, it's really disjointed. I mean, it sucks because they took something that at least had themes, like you were saying, and now it doesn't. Right? It's almost like California Adventure, where it's a park that doesn't know what it wants to be.
What a mess.
It's cool, but you don't. But there's no continuity.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a problem, in my opinion, but whatever, I guess. What am I going to do about it? I'm still going to go there. Who are we kidding?
Yeah, but if we have something to complain about, it makes it better for the time.
It is. Yeah, it's great. Perfect. Man.
Get off my lawn. But yeah, so I think that the biggest issue was Marvel hits, right? Phase 3. Marvel just hits hard. Everyone loves it. MCU's crazy. And they can't do one living thing east of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
So I told you I went to Oogie Boogie, right? It was the only time I was in California Adventure ever. Those 3 hours before the party started, before they switched everything over, I spent the entire time pretty much in Marvel Land. Because Avengers Campus is awesome, and as soon as they can bring it out here, it's gonna absolutely kill.
Yeah, I do like that they have a lot of characters walking around too.
And unfortunately they didn't, because they were all they were all transitioning. They had everything open as it was, but they didn't have that, and that's the one thing I missed, because you have all those, phase 1, 2, and 3 characters that were out and about.
Yeah. I will say we can do more with Marvel Land. Like when they bring it out to Orlando, I feel like I was really hyped for it, like on the opening day, just because it's something new. But the more I've been to it, the more it's like, oh, you guys could have done a lot more with like the space that you have. Like there should have been at least one more ride. I feel like they could have more shows. They have some really cool ones that are there, but it's become kind of underwhelming. I miss Bugs Land, but also I'm a toddler, so I liked Heimlich's Choo Choo Train a lot. I miss it.
Yeah, Never experienced it. Good.
It does need representation. Like Marvel's huge. People get super hyped about it. That's awesome. And usually there's a lot of characters walking around, and they're all really good. I really appreciate them. So yeah, it's a cool addition to GCA, but makes it even more of a confusing place to be because now there's even more weird things over there.
Well, it's like you walk in and you're like, this is kind of like Hollywood Studios, and you're like, ooh, and this is East Coaster going west. It's like, ooh, this is cool. Then you turn left and you're like, this is weird because I can go left here and there's a big building out there, and then it's like the tower's on the wrong side, and then it's not the tower, it's Guardians. Which, by the way,
I miss the tower.
It's so like, so the OG one was great. The one at Studios, I hope they never overlay it. I hope it's just the original.
They would. People would lose their minds if they do.
And
then what would Studios even have if they take that away?
From a like icon standpoint?
Yeah, that's like on all of their like mugs. It's like Hollywood Studios because they took the hat thing away. Hat.
Yeah, which thank God.
Yeah, that's ugly. But
yeah, but no, they I don't think they take the tower away. It wouldn't surprise me if they overlay it with something.
You just mean like temporarily for like a holiday or something?
No, that I wish they did. But like, your tower's Guardians. It's Mission Breakout.
Oh,
right?
I see what you mean. Okay, like change it to a different theme. I feel like people would get really upset, but
I believe so as well. But you never know.
Yeah. I love it.
But yeah. So as we're talking Disney, where did your love of Disney come from?
Mostly from my sister, because she's always wanted to be an Imagineer. Like when she was a kid, she had all the Disney books and everything. She was the Disney kid. I was more of the Barbie girl. So she would tell me all the fun facts and like come in my room and read all about everything to me. So like when we go to Disneyland on family vacations, she would walk around and be better than the plaid shirt people, like with giving us a tour. She knows everything about everything. So now of course I do too. So now I annoy my friends, I'm sure, with fun facts. But she was always just the Disney person. And so in turn, I love it because of her. And she was friends with a lot of characters. She did the college program, and then she worked. She was friends with Goofy and let's see, what was another big one? Genie, Woody. So like I associate, anytime I see Goofy, I think of my sister. And now that we live in separate places, I just like really love him because I'm like, oh, it's my sister. I get to go say hi. So I don't know. And then it's also just a really good meetup spot for San Diego. That's where I am. And then all my like LA friends and OC, like it's just kind of like, it sounds very bougie, I guess, to be like Disneyland's our meetup. But, we have all like APs and we just like, where should we meet? Like, let's just go to the park and like walk around. So it's just become a good friend spot, dressing up for the parties and stuff like that with everybody. But yeah.
Is Disneyland your home park?
Yes.
Okay. You're West Coast.
In Arizona, so that was the closer one to us. Right. Yeah.
Cool. Good deal. Good deal. And then it just rolled into princesses.
Rolled into princesses. Yep. I've always loved Ariel. I guess I should preface with that too. I used to like splash around in the pool with my feet tied together and pretend I was a mermaid, and so she'll always be my favorite princess to hang out with. And I have like a whole Ariel wall over here in my craft room dedicated like a child to her.
Nothing wrong with that. So from a costume standpoint, you said craft room, right? You're building these out mostly yourself, correct?
Yeah, most of them. I haven't really touched like the superhero, like the spandex stuff. I do not like to sew, but everything else I try and make myself. Yeah, I started off just like thrifting things, like when I first made Elsa and Anna, I like didn't know if this is what I even wanted to do. I'd never made a full costume. I think I made an Ariel costume like just for like a Halloween party or something in college. But then the Elsa, I just like found a corset at a thrift store and like added some blue material. I should show you the picture. It's horrendous. It's a very, very bad, like you could see my brown hair around the wig and everything, but I like went and did my first party and the kids like all loved me and it was really fun. And so then I asked my best friend to do my Anna character, who also worked at the Princess Tea House with me. And so I found the whole Anna costume at a thrift store and like painted it and made it look like Anna. And then it just kind of started rolling from there, like, you know, taking like something and altering it or dyeing it to be a different color. And I don't know. I really didn't know what I was doing at all. And I still don't, but I'm better than I was. So I don't know.
I think you do a great job.
I've never really been taught like any professional sewing
Mhm.
skills, and I have my attention spans very bad. Like I try and learn some new things on YouTube, but I'm more of a trial and error girl. I like to just like dive in and see if I can do it. And then if I can't, I scream and I try again, or I do it and then it's fine. But it's probably not always the best way. So
I think sometimes that's the best way to learn though, because you figure it out. And sometimes you might do it one way that someone who, you know, does it a certain way all the time wouldn't have thought of, and it works out. And I
it
don't
has
know.
made me think outside the box, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, because it's like you have a vision of how you want something to look, and it's just it comes together. Did you so you didn't really sew as a kid, or
I did, but
did,
like I would sew like pillowcases and
uh-huh.
kind of stuff. So my mom was so good that like
Yeah.
it was just kind of like we would try for a little bit and we'd be like, Mom, can you finish it? Like
Yeah.
she was just so good. So we never really like had the drive to like finish stuff until like I realized, oh, I actually kind of want to learn, you know. So when she comes to visit or like I'm with her, like I don't know, we have sewed a few things together. Like she sewed a fairy godmother costume when I sewed a Cinderella costume. And so we were kind of doing that next to each other, and that was really fun. I wish we could do it more often now that I like know more about things, but
Yeah.
hopefully soon again.
But
yeah, just a lot of making stuff up. And thrifted, like if anyone's listening that wants to be like learn how to sew, I highly recommend just going to a thrift store and taking apart something and putting it back together, or like take a long skirt and see if you can figure out how to hem it to make it fit you, or you know, stuff like that is where you start, and then it just kind of snowballs from there, and it becomes less of an intimidating thing and more of like a, oh wow, I really did that, and then you can do something else. I don't know. That's what I try and have my friends do.
Yeah.
Like Morgan, you guys talked to Morgan.
Mhm.
I helped her make her first costume, kind of like in a similar fashion.
Yes. Yes, she told the story. She said
Oh,
she said it did not go very well.
Oh, she's lying. It went great.
Yeah,
You
I
did
know.
such a good job.
Yeah, that's what she's like. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, yeah, well, that's how we all start.
Yeah, exactly.
you have to start somewhere.
Yup.
She did a great job. You're always your own like worst critic, so she did a great job.
I think we all are for sure. The whole cosplay world, just like it, I'm so intrigued by it, just because you take nothing and make it into something that looks absolutely awesome, and just like to have that creativity and then the skill set around it, but to have that creativity, it's impressive to me, mainly because I guess I'm not that good with my hands when it comes to stuff like that. Like if I tried to sew something, it'd be bad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're okay.
You lost the headphone.
Sorry, I pulled you.
It's okay.
Our son was asking us a question, and I just turned my head too far. I'm sorry. I love the cos. I wish cosplay was more of a thing, like when we were younger, because like I just would have really like gotten into it. I love.
You still can.
I feel like I've missed the.
No, some of my favorite cosplayers. There's a pair I think they're called the Cosplay Parents or something.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to be in like their late 70s maybe, and they cosplay characters together.
Well, then we have time.
They're so recognizable. Like everyone loves them and runs up, and they're so sweet. Like they know everybody, and they'll give them hugs. Like I'm sure they don't know my name, but they always like wave to me.
Aww.
It's never too late.
Yeah. I love to make stuff, and I love seeing your different costumes, and I feel like during like COVID was when we started following. Was that when we started following her? Before that, it was before that.
I think so.
But I was always like, oh, this is so cool, like everything that you make. And you know, I love seeing it too with the cosplay, like how it's so popular, and you doing this. I feel like it inspires so many people to try it, and
Oh,
like you're giving the
thank
little
you.
tips and stuff. I think that's great because it's something that was going to the wayside, where I see now like people are picking up more fashion or trying to do like their cosplay or all the different things to actually make stuff. So it makes me happy.
Yay, thank you. That's like my main goal. People like ask if I'll commission stuff, and number one, I'm not good enough for that. Like I don't ever finish like my hems, or like I don't fully line stuff. I just don't. My kind of mode is just like manic. Like I'll start and I'll just keep going until the costume's done, whether it takes me like 6 hours or like 48 hours and I just don't sleep. Like I just am super inspired. But like I want to try and like give tips along the way so that people like what you were saying can also do alongside with me. Like I would never want to just like do something for somebody, because I want them to learn and then like be able to do their own thing. Like I don't know, that's my main goal. So thanks for saying that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Now, have you jumped into like the whole 3D printing aspect?
Oh my gosh, I have 2 friends who have machines, and it is so cool. I'm trying to figure out like how to. So I have a serger that I've been trying to learn how to use, which is like a fancier sewing machine. And then I just got a new machine. So I told myself once I can like fully understand those 2 things, then I can get a 3D printer. And my husband, I think, would really like it too, because he's an Android programmer. He's like a techie guy. Right. So I figure like, he can like help me do with the programs, and like I'll benefit off of it.
Yeah.
You should be like, I think you should just get one that you can use.
Exactly.
Like, honey, I think you really need one of these.
Sounds like a tax.
You can make so many things. Yeah.
I really think that we're getting pretty close, actually.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah. Because our friends that have them are like, all of my friends that do stuff like that are so generous with like, what do you need? Like, find a file and I'll print it for you. Like, my friend Chelsea just printed a bunch of stuff for me, which is so awesome. But I also, like, want to learn how to do it myself, too. And, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of work to figure out how to make your own pattern, but there's a lot of files out there now that people have made and share, and it's cool.
It's really interesting how it went from I have a 3D printer and that's now my kind of like little side gig to it's just in this, niche community, right? For cosplay. It's like, I'll order this. And now they're so much more affordable. I don't want to say they're inexpensive, but they're so much more affordable.
They used to be like thousands of dollars. And now, they're like, you can get a pretty decent one for like $200 or $300 now.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It just takes a little longer, but it's cool that the filament too, like you can reuse it. The filament's pretty cheap too. Mm-hmm. Another product that I've just started to learn how to use is called Warbla. Have you heard of that before?
No, what's this?
Oh, it's this like, it's over there, but it's kind of like a giant plastic sheet, and you get it hot, and then you can melt it into whatever form you want it to be. So if you see people with like really cool armor, chances are they've used Warbla with it. It creates that like really hard surface that molds to their body, or to their arm, or whatever part they need it to be.
That is so cool.
And then you can, like, if you mess up, you just heat it up and roll it back out again, and you can do it again. So it's reusable.
Because I know they used to do that with like I can't think of it, but it was
over cardboard.
It was like more move over cardboard, right? Yeah, but like it was more like you had to order it, right? So you had to figure out, like, let's say you were doing like an arm, right? And you wanted armor for it. You had to like send your specs in, and then they would do all of it for you, like vacuum, right? A lot of it was like vacuum press or vacuum, I guess, sealed over.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I can't think about it. It's the way, whatever. Anywho, I'm talking.
There's a lot of crazy ways people used to do stuff like that. Yeah. But you either make it out of craft foam now or that Warbla stuff. And
that is so neat.
Yeah, there's so many patterns.
I like want to make something now with it. I don't know what I want to make.
It's so cool. Yeah, once you start in that world, like I just started scratching the surface, and I'm like, where has this been all my life? That and there's something called foam clay. I started off using it's just the Crayola brand. You can get it at like any craft store, and you can mold it just like Play-Doh, but then you leave it out and then it dries, and it's so light when it's dry. It's like it's foam. So a lot of people use that for like small detailing on armor. Like my Ariel seashell bra is made fully out of that. I've had that thing for 8 years maybe, and it's still great.
And it didn't break.
No, it's perfect. It's so durable. You can sand it down. It's dry. It's so amazing. And I always put like tin foil or something in the middle of it to like have a shape first, and then I surround it with the craft foam. And then yeah, it's the best substance. Now they have a bunch of different brands and stuff that are better in my opinion on Amazon if you type in like clay foam, foam clay. But it's such an amazing cosplay tool. So I don't know, stuff like that, like trial and error. I just got that at a craft store like 10 years ago just to play with, and I just liked like the sensory aspect of it. I thought it was fun. And then I like was sitting on the couch thinking like, whoa, what if I make my shell bra out of that? Like I don't want it to be, you know, this hard clay, and it was before I knew how to do like casting or anything like that. So I just sculpted it out of that stuff.
I love it.
Yeah, and here we are.
That's awesome.
Pretty fun,
right? Yeah, you can just make me a Mandalorian.
There you go.
Outfit.
The helmets, there are so many different patterns out there to make it out of craft foam. And really? It's like you just cut up a bunch of pieces and cement glue it together, sand it down, and my friend just finished, well, actually he 3D printed his helmet, but I have another friend who just made one fully out of craft foam. And it's super light and durable. Pretty awesome. So there you go, Brandy, your next project.
My next project. I was hoping for something a little more fun.
I mean, that's fine.
That sounds kind of like
I'll make the helmet. Right.
Like something girly. You want to be a girl for something? I'll make that.
Barbie. Barbie and
Ken. Yeah. You can sing the song.
Did you guys see the movie yet?
Not yet.
No. Oh.
No, I need to take Gigi to see it. Yeah. Totally need to see it.
It's on the list.
Okay, that's fair.
My list is
every single costume from that. The wardrobe department for that movie was amazing.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you were Barbie growing up.
Once upon a day. Once upon a time. Once upon a day.
Once upon a day.
On a day.
I'm going to say that now.
So you started doing cosplay out of a, I guess for lack of a better term, necessity because of a gig you were taking, right? So what transitioned you to like Instagram, cosplay world, whatever you want to call it, the cosplay niche online, to creating content around it?
That's a good question. I think I started off like having one profile where it was like my regular pictures and also like the princess stuff, you know, on the weekend. And then I like felt like I was posting too much of the princess stuff. Like it became like an imbalance. So then I just moved it over and created like a business Instagram. So if people wanted to hire me for parties, but then I wanted to post my Halloween costumes that I also made on there, and it just didn't feel professional. So then I split it apart again and just made like a cosplay account. So that was probably like maybe 6 years ago or something. I don't know. Still back when Instagram was still like not how it is now, but
all pictures, no reels.
Yeah, exactly. It was just a bunch of pictures. So yeah, and because I started doing that, I like, you know, with hashtags and everything, I would look up like hashtag princess cosplay or whatever and see that people were doing other costumes from like The Little Mermaid, for example. And I was just like, that's a great idea. It doesn't have to just be for Halloween. I can like, I don't know, two of the cosplayers that I like originally started following. Have you guys heard of Tracy Hines before?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I actually she invited me to do a photo shoot with a bunch of bridal princess dresses with a designer called Designer Daddy that I followed for forever. So that photo shoot was like my dream come true because it was all of the cosplayer, Tracy Hines, another girl named Amber Arden. Let's see who else was there. Monica Ricketts, a bunch of girls that I had followed for years, like first princess cosplayers in my opinion, like the first big ones, right. that made me realize that I could do this at like outside of my workplace. And then Designer Daddy, who's a designer that I've always just like really looked up to. Everyone was in the same room, and I was like, it was like super
cool
for me. Like, I shouldn't be there. What am I doing here? Like,
look.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I gotta look up Designer Daddy because I feel like I know who you're talking about, but I want to make sure I know
such a kind, incredible person. I can't, and so talented. He just did a sketch, like he was just in the room with all of us together, looking at all of his work. He did in 5 months ago. He decided to do this bridal line, and now, you know, he had the full photo shoot of every princess in the wedding dress. It was crazy. He lives in New York. He's renovating a church right now to be his house. So his account is really cool to follow him.
Yeah, the dresses are gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, he's so fast in making them.
Oh my gosh.
So fast at sketching stuff out. And just the kindest person you'll ever meet. He's so humble and so silly and just like, I don't know. Sometimes influencers, I don't know if you guys have noticed, sometimes they can be a bit of a butthead. I don't know. Something gets to their head and they're like, I'm far superior to everybody else online. Like,
right.
You know, it's pretty irritating. So I have met a lot of those at cons.
Right.
Which, of course, I won't name names, but my goal is to never be anywhere close to that. I just do it for me. And if people want to follow along on my manic crafting adventures, then that's awesome. Like, glad to have you here. I'll answer your questions for you. But I'm not about to be like, my goal is not to be like an influencer. I just am myself. I just want to hang out here.
That needs to be your behind the scenes Instagram, manic crafting.
Yo,
man.
I stress people out. Sometimes people stop watching my story and like a week later, like, did you ever finish that? Because like I couldn't watch anymore. And sometimes I don't.
Taking my ears.
Oh. But I'm like super real about that too. Like sometimes I don't finish stuff. And it's okay. Like, I feel like they're online. Like, you only see, like, everyone's perfect versions of things. And, like, I'll show all of my mistakes and fails because there's a lot of them. And, like, I feel like, I don't know, it needs to be more prevalent. Like, that needs to be having a more presence online. Oh, my God, I can't speak English words.
You're fine.
Look at, there we go. I'm live speaking gibberish.
Welcome to my world.
Yay.
No, but you're exactly right. Like there was a time, and it probably was 2018-ish, where like the Instagram feed was sacred, where you only put the most pristine, perfect, themed, filtered, whatever picture in that. And then the story was just like the wild, wild west, like whatever the hell you wanted to do.
Yeah.
But you couldn't post a picture from the story, and you just couldn't.
And they needed to match like in your row.
Oh, yeah, with the 3
Yeah.
I tried that for 1 second and could not handle it. It sure does look pretty when you have the time and patience to do it, but
I don't do it anymore. Dave's in charge of everything now.
Nice.
Which is why Instagram's
I'm like, just
an
go
absolute
for it.
shit show.
I mean, it sucks nowadays. Like, if you don't post, like, I was just on vacation, or I've been all over the place, posting in my story occasionally, but like not in my feed. And Instagram will just like cut your views in half so quickly if it sees that people aren't like watching your story every day. Which, I mean, I know it gets a lot of my like other online friends like super down, which makes me sad. That I don't know. And it does suck. Like, you're working on something cool. Like, I was just in the cosplay contest at San Diego Comic-Con, which I thought was really awesome. But, like, because I had just been in Florida and I hadn't been posting, Instagram only showed, like, half of my followers anything that I even made. So, like, a lot of people didn't even know I was in the costume contest. So, it's kind of dumb. But whatever, I guess.
It's interesting because you look at these outlets, right? TikTok is absolutely infamous for this, where you find someone you like, they will show you over 4 days 15 videos from this person, from this account, and then you decide to follow them because you want more content. They are immediately removed from your For You page. I swear to God, that's how it works.
Yeah, like you don't see them anymore.
You see them once a week as opposed to what you want, which is as much as possible.
Yeah.
I think the other thing with Instagram is that it's been around for too long. And, unless you are really diligent on, and this is just from, I don't want to say stop following people you don't want to follow, because it's not a people thing. It's just a focus thing, right? Like if you were someone who wasn't creating content, but you were a Disney fan, you were a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you were a fan of, I don't know, something completely random, NASCAR, and you as the person that's just going through that, like a whole bunch of stuff from all three of those, Instagram doesn't know what the hell to do. So it just shows you random stuff. Like, and there are people that just don't show up on your feed, and you end up having 2,000, 3,000 people that you're following, and everyone's uploading stuff, everyone's updating it. And unless you're on Instagram all the time, you're not going to get everything in your feed that you want.
Yeah, you just have to go and stalk people. Oh, I wonder what they're up to. But then you have to remember their username.
Yeah.
And you get distracted, and yeah, it's tricky. Yeah, that's kind of what Instagram does with my account too. Of like when I'm posting like effects makeup and then princess makeup and then like something totally random like the Teletubbies or something, you know, then Instagram's just like, I don't know who to show you to, and then it like doesn't show you to anybody. So yeah, it's silly. Whatever. This is the world we live in, I guess, huh?
It's crazy. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
I don't either. Comic-Con. Yes. So a lot of cons, right? All over the place, have kind of become these, without being, and I guess it kind of makes sense, without being like, hey, come here and cosplay. They've just become absolute destinations for cosplay. And it's crazy. We talked for like 2 minutes before we went live and said it was D23 first con ever. It was insane. Some of the stuff you saw.
So fun, huh?
So fun and so good, right? Like Moon Knight had just come out.
Oh.
And someone had cosplayed as Boba Fett Moon Knight or Mandalorian Moon Knight.
I didn't see that.
Had the complete white suit on, right? The suit version of Moon Knight. And then an all white Mando helmet.
That's awesome.
It was so good.
That's so cool. People like really just work for so long, and D23 is every 2 years. So like some people get, and I already know what I'm doing for the next one, and I had thought of that idea before the last D23 because I'm like so excited to bring it out. So people that have a better attention span than me are working on stuff right now. I'm still gonna save it to the week before, but they're doing stuff right now. Yeah, it's really awesome. D23 is a really good cosplay con. Like if you want to see cool costumes, that's a really good one to go to. San Diego Comic-Con really isn't. It's not great for it. Yeah, as you like kind of dive more into the world, you start to like see stereotypes for the different cons. Like I don't know a lot that are on the East Coast. I do know there's a Christmas kind of theme con in Florida where you take your favorite character and you just like Christmasify them and December. Cool. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to that. I forgot what it's called, but it sounds fun. There's one that's like a water park, like that's right next to a water park. So everyone goes to the convention in like swimsuit versions of their characters, and then like goes all, you know, there's a bunch of pool parties and stuff after. So every con has its like little, I don't know, but WonderCon's my favorite. Have you guys heard of that one before?
I have. Where's it?
It's in Anaheim.
Okay.
So same place as D23.
Right.
Anaheim convention, but it's really cool. It's another like super cosplay. Like you see something from like, you know, all over. You see like Disney stuff and, you know, Marvel, but then you also see like classic comic book characters and TV shows and people's like original character designs. I don't know. I really like that. And everyone's so friendly. Everyone just wants to talk to you and like learn how you did stuff on your costume, and everyone's respectful of, can I take a picture with you? Or if you see someone eating, you don't go out to them and take a picture of them, you know, stuff like that. Whereas San Diego Comic-Con is like all around the world, like lots of different cultures coming in together. And it's just all like, it's a culture shock. It's a huge event. There's people are just like smashed in, especially this year with like all, you know, the craziness of panels getting canceled and all of that. So like the exhibit floor was just like crammed with people and no personal space, and lots of people like not asking if they can take your picture. You just see like a bunch of people like filming you, and which, you know, like if you're wearing a costume, honestly, like some cosplayers will get mad about that. I take it as a compliment because it's like, thanks. But like you could come up and say hi. Like you don't have to like run away from me when I look at you when you're filming me. Like I'm a friendly person. I don't know. I'm not just like wearing this costume because this is my everyday look. Like I'm clearly wearing it to like spark conversation. But I don't know. It's less of a cosplay con and more of like people are there to get merchandise and meet actors or see cool panels. So I worked a few of them actually before I even did cosplay stuff. Like I worked for the Walking Dead booth that they had there, and they dressed me as a zombie, and so I got to scare people all day. That was really
awesome.
Fun. But I've done like crowd control for Comic-Con, and that was a lot. It's a lot. People trample each other. People go to the hospital.
It's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you done Star Wars Celebration?
Yes, I just did it for the first time this last time around.
In Europe?
No, I went to the one that was in Anaheim.
Okay. All right.
Yep. This year's is in Europe, right?
It's already this year was in Europe.
Already?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, because they announced the 3 movies at it, and I didn't realize that it was just Europe. That was it.
Wow. So yeah, I'm not great at keeping up, but I did really enjoy it. It was cool, and then the cosplay is all like centered around one thing, or like mashups. People do, you know, Disney Princess Plus, like Star Wars, which is fun to see.
Right. That's my favorite. I love seeing the creativity where it's and I can just remember this for sure. So you mentioned Amber Arden. I remember she did, because she's done Snow White like 1,000 times, but the Snow White Mando, Snow White Boba Fett, whatever, right?
Yeah, she calls it Snow Buffet, I think.
Yeah, right. Crazy, right?
It's perfect.
Like, it is.
Yeah, Tracy Hines did an aerial one with it too. I think they had a little group together.
Right.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That was crazy. But like that, the Moon Knight Mando was insane, and you see the creativity that people come up with ideas instead of I just want to be X, and there's nothing wrong with that either, because there are some people that execute so incredibly well. It's crazy how accurate they can get.
Oh yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of TLC that goes into all of it. So
especially with those armor builds, I have a lot of respect for cosplayers that do that, because it takes so much time.
Even intricate dresses, right? Like you start layering tulle over. But see, I know.
Good job.
I use words. It's because she knows how to do things. I don't. I got to give Brandy credit, because I was Gianna. How old was she? Was she 10, 8? It was the year that Frozen was 14. So it would have been.
What year did Frozen come out?
14.
2014.
We were at Disney that summer, and
so she was 7.
Yeah, so she couldn't find an Elsa dress that she liked, so she made one. And so many people in the parks asked where they bought it, where we bought it.
And I made you an Olaf
hat.
I
did have an Olaf hat.
What were you?
I was just me. I was more into her outfits, and that was out with the same year that she was Ahsoka Tano too, or was that another one?
No, the Ahsoka Tano one was pretty good.
See, I like to dress my kid up.
That is so cool. And actually, like, funny you say that about Frozen too. That year of Frozen coming out, and so many people wanted to wear those Elsa dresses, and like cosplayers were trying so hard to recreate, but Elsa's dress is so hard. Like in the film, the way she moves, like the way that the ice crystals look, like, I just remember like years of people, and even now Disney, I'm sorry, she looks like George Washington. Like the hair it's not good.
You're right.
Like, they can't figure it out. Like even mine, like I finally am kind of to a point where I'm like medium happy, but like I'm not. She's such a hard character to bring to life. So that's really cool that you made your daughter a costume, because I'm sure a lot of people were asking where you got it, because there really wasn't a good dress out there yet. Like she took a while to like actually get figured out. That's for sure.
I have a picture here. I don't know if it's like, here. I don't know. Will it
Let's
show
see.
up on
Yeah,
the screen?
It will if you do this.
You do it. See if it will. You gotta like.
Oh my god.
Oh, like the middle. It's sparkly in the middle, so I don't know why the green.
Yeah, green screen
thing
screwed
is
it
being
up,
like.
but yeah,
that's gorgeous. That
Yeah,
looks so good. What did
Oh,
you use?
thanks.
Snowflakes on the cape.
So I painted those on
Wow.
with like a glitter puffy paint. I outlined snowflakes and then I filled them in, and it just sparkled in the sun. It was just, she had this long cape part,
And I bet she was so proud of it.
and it was Frozen Summer at Hollywood Studios, and they had all this really awesome stuff there. There was like some big building. I don't know what it was. It's not there now, but you could ice skate.
It's on
It's
the
like
other,
where
so back where
Toy Story Land.
No, it's
Incredibles.
Hold on. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The
playground.
The playground back there. Obviously, it wasn't there anymore, but back in there, they had a couple of the big buildings where they would just randomly have production, or used to be the tour.
It was so cool.
They had a snowmaker, so you could
you could play in the snow.
Play in the snow. You could ice skate.
You could get cupcakes,
a bunch of different snacks,
and all kinds of really cool things. And it was like they gave you little fans that had like the whole park was, everything was Frozen Summer. It was so cool. It was like
adorable.
One of my favorites.
Wow, I'm surprised they didn't keep that around for a while because of how popular Frozen was. But
yeah,
it is super.
Yeah,
it's surprising to me how they put so much into that Frozen Summer, and now it's like we have something coming out to celebrate the 100th anniversary, and it's gonna be another cupcake.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
a banner. Congratulations.
Yeah, we did do for Mickey's birthday. Gigi and I wore matching like dresses.
Yeah,
we did Minnie Mouse
make
dresses.
The Minnie dress for Mickey's birthday, Mickey and Minnie, or Minnie's birthday, whatever it was.
That's cute. Yeah, Disney bounding is another really fun like outlet to like.
Yeah.
Do you always Disney bound?
Every time. I shouldn't say every, because I do have some Spirit jerseys that I like, want to wear. But I'm not a big ears person. Like I think they're cute, but like I don't know. I'd rather dress like a character. So, yeah, I love it. It's really fun. I like to get groups together. Dapper Day, like at least minimum 8 girls now of walking around together. It's fun to dress up.
Yeah, Dapper Day is a huge thing on the West Coast. I mean, they're trying to make it something on the East Coast, but it's
someday
so big. Like it's so sprawled out. It's got to be a lot harder to like. I don't know. I heard from some friends that this last one though, they've gotten a little bit better.
Right. I think people are. Here's the big difference. Disneyland's a local park. You have a lot of people that go to Disneyland a lot that are in Southern California. Disney World, not so much. Like all the like it is tough for us to say, okay, on a weekend in April, because I'd love to go do Dapper Day. Absolutely love it. But I'm not just flying down for a weekend in April. Just can't.
Yep. Well, I hope you guys get out there someday for it, because it really is very special.
I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat just to check it out. Plus, I believe it's a little cooler in April in Southern California.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a little warm on both Dapper Days, but it's not horrible. In California, it gets pretty cold at night too. So people usually have like 2 looks. They'll do like, a shawl at night or whatever they'll come out with. But
that's cool.
Yeah, it's so cool to see just Main Street like full of people, and every year it just gets more and more. I actually just did Bats Day too, which is like a gothic Dapper Day, and that was really cool.
When was that?
I would love to I'm clearly not a goth girl. I'm very like bubbly and like I love the color pink. I'm wearing my Darth Maul shirt today, but this is not my typical I don't know. But I love dressing up and like doing like darker makeup and wearing that look. It's just so much work. Like it took me like 4 hours to do my makeup that day, and I'm way too lazy for that. So, but everyone just comes out, and it's just like the whole park is people in like Victorian gothic outfits, or like just like kind of street goth. I know there's a bunch of different types, but like everything's black. And then everyone rode the Haunted Mansion together. So there were hundreds of people in line for the mansion. It was so cool. I loved it. It was awesome. Bats Day. That's what that's called.
Bats Day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So with Halloween coming up, you mentioned it's your favorite cosplay time of the year. Maybe.
It's mostly because everyone joins in with me. It's extra. Like, yes, come on, babies, we'll dress up together.
So between that and I'm interested in this whole Walking Dead Comic-Con story from back in the day because I was a Walking Dead fanatic
I was
when
too.
it came out, and then Andrew Lincoln left the show, and
I haven't finished it. I can't
either. I think 3 seasons left. I haven't been able to. When they killed Rick off, by the way, spoiler alert, if you don't know, it's too late.
I think that's why people stopped watching.
It's why I stopped watching.
Yeah.
I mean, Daryl was a great character, obviously. Maggie was a great character.
The core team.
The real shit part about it is that they killed off 3 other fantastic characters earlier that they didn't necessarily have to. And it was end of season 3, why can't I think of his name?
I don't even remember. Yeah, I need to watch it again.
So, yeah. But there's 2 spinoffs, right? Coming out.
Literally, no, I did not know that.
So Maggie and Negan are going to New York. I forget which one it's called. But I only I know the 24-second I saw a trailer premise storyline. But the other one is I saw some production pictures of why can't I think of his name? Norman Reedus' character. Why can't I think of his name? I just said it. Daryl.
Daryl, yeah.
He ends up in France.
How?
I don't know. He apparently took a flight. I don't know. That's a long way.
Maybe teleported. Maybe they'll throw that in there.
Just start a new TV series at this point. I don't know. Make it a different type of it doesn't need to be zombie apocalypse anymore. Make it something else.
Post-apocalyptic, fantastic. Are you a fan of post-apocalyptic across the board?
Oh, I love anything horror. I think it's all so much fun.
Did you watch Silo on Apple Plus?
No.
Yet? Post-apocalyptic, more so thriller-ish. Okay. Not horror. Dude I work with mentioned it to me. I got Apple Plus for it and couldn't stop watching the 10 shows. Just 10 episodes first season. All of them are an hour. It's fantastic.
Cool. I'll definitely put that on my watch list. That's awesome.
Best I've seen in a while. So are you venturing into zombie cosplay? That's the question.
I love it. I've done a few looks. I did an Ariel and Eric version of the hook got stuck in my cheek. I actually in college I did all of my roommates. We all did different princesses and how they would die. So I've done that before, and then I recently a few years ago redid it to actually with real skills. But we did Merida had the bear claws, Cinderella had the glass slipper stuck in her face. Who else did we have? Belle got mauled by the beast. Who else is a main princess? Tiana drowned in the bayou. Rapunzel got choked by her hair, stuff like that, so super morbid, really fun. But we were all in college, and my sister was the one who was really good at effects, so she did half of our makeup. It was a lot of work for her, but yeah, so I recently did it. I've been begging my husband for so many years to do Prince Eric with me. Please, it's my one wish. I want you to be Prince Eric. And he refuses to be princes. He'll do a bunch of different characters. He did Milo when I was Kita from Atlantis. That was our first con we ever did, was D23, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe.
That's cool.
But the Eric that he did do with me was Zombie Eric. So it was I stabbed him with a dingle hopper. He had a bunch of poke holes in his face, and the netting was choking me. It was cool. Let's see. I did Beetlejuice. I don't know if that counts as a zombie. He technically is.
I think it has to.
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, this year I definitely have a lot of things it saved in my. I've got a list of probably at least 150 costumes that I want to make. So I need to try and narrow them down and figure out what I want to do next. Anytime I think of one, I just add it to my phone list. And it's just scroll. I have way too many things now. It's obnoxious.
Do you keep them organized in any way? Or are you just scrolling through oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Maybe
literally that. there's no organization
Love
with
it.
me.
That's-
I'm chaos all the time. I
That's
do
okay.
kind of have them like in groups of like if I'm scrolling and I see ones that like are similar to each other, I'll scoot them up so that they're at least in the same area as each other. Like my personal goal is to do like, I don't know, this next season of my cosplay, I guess. I don't know. I want to do characters that are like from the same movie. So I did the Jafar, Aladdin, and Jasmine. I thought that was really fun to have like 3 characters from the same. And I recently did Lord Farquaad, and so I want to do like Fiona and maybe somebody else from Shrek, so that I can have like little trios from movies to kind of keep myself more aligned in my skills and goals, I guess. Otherwise, I'm just all over the place. But I don't know. Yeah, let's see. I don't think I have any main like horror characters besides just like practicing zombie makeup, but it's just very interesting to me. It's cool techniques. I really like the process of it.
Right. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome. So you just have a list and you just pick some stuff off it eventually. Like this
That
is
is correct. Or like I love thrift stores. And so I'll just like go walk through a thrift store, and like a lot of my fabrics that I use for costumes are like bed sheets and curtains and stuff like that I'll just find it at thrift stores. And then as I'm there, I'll also kind of like take a quick little look at certain sections. And if I see something that looks like a character that's on my list, then I'll bump that character to the top and like just do them randomly. So I don't know. Or like I work with Hot Topic sometimes, so that's where Lord Farquaad came. They sent me like this cute little crop top that was Lord Farquaad themed, and they wanted me to like take pictures in it. So, they probably meant like cutesy, like, and I'm like
Yeah.
full, like I did like the whole chin and like I'm like, a full man cosplay. Probably not what they wanted, but we did that. So, certain things just inspire me.
the Captain Crunch one killed me.
Oh, that's another one where I'm like, they probably didn't actually want me to do this, but I did it. So I did ask them. I had like this really cool little 60s outfit idea because it was his 60th birthday. So I sent them like my sketch of like this 60s dress that I designed out of the outfit. And then I was like, or I could go full troll. And they're like, do whatever you want. So of course I did what I wanted. I showed up and the other girls are all cute and they just kind of like looked at me. They were really, really nice. It was fun. And the nose for that is foam clay. There we go. Full circle.
Awesome. There we go.
It works well for everything.
So do you aspire to work with brands, or do you wait for them to come to you? Like,
I just wait for them to come to me. I actually thought Captain Crunch was like a full scam. So
Did you?
Yeah, because like what? So I researched the name of the girl and like saw her LinkedIn and like I did a lot of research to make sure that it was actually a legit thing. But it's nice to work with them. Like Hot Topic, has inspired me a lot of the times to like I'll be in some sort of rut or like this is not my full-time job. I'm a teacher also, so like sometimes I'll just be tired and in my teaching routine and just don't do anything creative. And then Hot Topic sends me a campaign to pick something, and then it'll like re-inspire me to make a costume or, a new makeup look for that. So last year I got this dress from them that was black and white striped. And so I had an idea to just do a bunch of, for teaching, I teach piano lessons. So I see different kids every day. And so the week of Halloween, I like to dress up as a different character every single day. So I used the dress and I did a different look for the dress. I wore the dress all week, but I did a different makeup look for it all week. So like, I don't know. It's just like, it's fun to have that little element, I guess, because I wouldn't have done that without them. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
So your favorite brand that you've worked with thus far?
Personality wise, probably Thomas Kincaid, the painting company.
Yeah.
They're really cool. Yeah. I haven't done anything with them in a while, but I sure have a whole room full of Kincaids now working with them, and that was pretty cool. They're just really sweet and they're so kind. They're just like down for whatever. Hot Topic's really cool, but like it's more of like just like we'll send you stuff, make a post. Like there's not a lot of personality behind it. I just like to collect more random crap, I guess. Like this shirt is from them.
That's awesome. So did you cosplay as a painting? Like an painting?
I wish. Usually I just I did a blue fairy look for a Pinocchio painting that they gave me.
Right.
I did an Ariel one for, I don't know, Captain Marvel for Captain Marvel. So I just make new cosplays for it. Or they pay me, so I'll sometimes just buy a cosplay for it and just be like, oh, they just bought a cosplay for me. Even though I could have just not done that and just kept the money, but instead I invest in more cosplays. Can't stop.
That's what you got to do.
Yep. Gotta do. Yeah.
So I know this is probably a ridiculously difficult question. What's your favorite thing you've ever cosplayed as?
Oh.
And you can have multiple answers. This isn't like a one and done deal. So just what are some of your favorites, or what's your favorite that you've done?
Well, my favorite to cosplay multiple versions of is Ariel, just because I love her and she's got a wide variety of outfits in her movie. And I've also done dapper versions of her and I did a 50s. I don't know. So I've probably done at least 20 versions of Ariel, which is a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, one of my favorites to walk around to con at was V for Vendetta, because I was wearing a mask and I'm so tall that people just assumed again that I was a man. And so walking with the mask and nobody can see where I'm actually looking because I had blacked out the eyes. And so I would just see people kind of making eye contact with me and just scurrying away. I don't know. I really enjoyed that. And then that day too, I was alone at the con and it wasn't that I didn't want to talk to people, because I'm clearly a very extroverted social person, but it was really fun experiencing a con without the social aspect, I guess.
Right.
I was just walking around and looking at artwork and, just observing other people, people watching, when usually at a con it's constant talking and pictures being taken, and I was just kind of spooky walking around. So that was one of my favorite ones, actually. I did Jack Sparrow after San Diego Comic-Con last year, and we just bar hopped, and that was a wild night with Jack. I don't know what it is about him. He loves rum. For some reason, I transformed into Jack, and I was unhinged. That was very fun. I really liked that.
Full accent. Did you
listen? I was trying all night, but it got worse and worse. So my next goal is next time I'm Jack, I need to get the accent down. It's the man voice. It's really hard. So there's a fuzz floating around here. I'll work on it. I'm working on it. Mary Poppins is another one of my favorite ones. I really like talking like her. I really like the interactions, and at parties I can be a little bit more, not rude, but blunt with children.
Right.
If I'm Ariel and a kid's being a little butthead, I can't call them out on it. But right. Mary Poppins can be close your mouth when you eat. It's right. Really fun to talk to kids like that, and they behave, and all the parents just love it. They just stand around and watch you teach their children manners.
just start calling the kids snarfblats.
Snarfblat. There you go. Stop being a snarfblat.
Exactly.
I like with Ariel, you can pretend to not know anything about the human world, and I always bring my big dingle hopper, and they're always no, it's a fork, and I'm a what? Playing with a fork. I don't know what that is. What's your favorite food? Seaweed. What you like that disgusting pizza? Yuck. Why are you eating that? It's really fun to just banter with that. So yeah, those are probably some top ones. But as soon as I hang up with you, I'm sure I'll have 10 that. One time I did Beetlejuice, and it was I had this manic idea at 10 p.m. It took me about 4 hours to do the makeup. My husband's playing video games. I made these teeth out of these little plastic beads that they make dentures out of, or kind of what do you call it when they not implants?
The half plates kind of deal.
Yeah, big mouth guards, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Researched how to do that, and I painted them and everything, and I was really excited about my little makeup look, and I ran in to say hi to him, and I spooked him. It was great. So yeah, I guess in general I like to do the weird ones. There's Ariel has the variety, and then as weird as I can get, the better for the other things, I guess.
So on your list of 287, or not on your list, whatever it is, What are you most looking forward to, or even if it's just like the newest one, whatever it is, what are you most looking forward to cosplaying in the future?
I feel like I need to like look at my.
This is great.
Let's see. Beetlejuice, I want to get like a full group of every character from that movie. I think that would be really fun. I'm really excited for my D23 idea for next year, but I can't tell you guys because I want to enter it in the costume contest, and we have to keep it secret. I want to redo Sid's toys. I really liked that a lot. And I want to make the baby head one with the spider legs sticking out.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I really wanted to do that last time, but it was just so much of a build. And then it's like walking around a con with that, I would really have to figure out how to like shrink in the legs. So I want to do the Fantasia centaurs from like the movie Fantasia. So I want to figure out how to build out the like little butt and legs and see if we can do that. Let's see. I feel like there's some really weird ones on here though. So let me see what's. Oh, see, and some of them I've even done and I haven't even checked off yet. Like Legolas, we recently did that one, so there we go. I have an answer for you. Okay.
Love this.
Have you seen Mars Attacks?
Long time ago, yes.
Okay, there's that girl alien. She's wearing like a white dress and like super. She's got huge hair. That's my next big build that I really want to do.
That's awesome.
Very excited. I want to do like normal version, and then I want to do a makeup look where it's like the robot's coming out of her face, like her face is peeling off and he's coming out. So that's coming soon. Hopefully by Halloween. Hopefully before. We'll see.
You don't have much time, seeing how Halloween started 10 days ago.
True. Crap. Well, gotta start now.
That's crazy. So you are a Disneyland fan. Which coast do you like better? World or land?
I like land more.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just smaller and more personal and more magical in my opinion. But world is, I don't know, the vibes of the people are very different too. Like Disneyland just feels friendlier. And world is just kind of pushy to me and hot. But
hot, that's for sure.
Yeah, I do really like Epcot though. I think it's really cool. Very magical. I like that all the people that work in the lands too are from those countries. So I've had some really great conversation with the people that work there too. It's fun. What about you guys? Well, I guess Brandy hasn't even.
I haven't been to the other one, so.
Mine's world currently, but I also didn't get a good. I was only in land for 4 hours.
Yeah, so you didn't get a very good.
And we spent, and again, we have one of these here, but of course we spent 45 minutes in Oga's. So
you have to.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Well, it was like there wasn't much else open. It was later. We were planning on just going and hanging out at the Grand Cali, which, by the way, fantastic hotel, beautiful hotel.
So pretty.
Yeah.
It's cool. They have a gingerbread house in there every year for Christmas that they just like spend so much time building. It's a real gingerbread house, and they change the theme every year, and it's really cool to see what they come up with in there.
Yeah, we did a November trip, which was our first real holiday trip a couple years ago, and the Grand Floridian gingerbread house was insane. Just
they have one there too. That's so cool. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like you could live in it. Like, it's huge. Yeah.
Some of the projects that they put people on is just I'm glad that they still I know that Disney's come I don't know, straight away from a lot of that too, like not treating their employees how they probably should, but it's cool that they still keep those little magical artistic touches within when it's so easy to just kind of be only commercialized, I guess.
Yeah, it's it's a struggle always to be that big and still attempt to keep do something special, right? And this, my thing is always, okay, every festival they're going to attempt to do something, right? Like, okay, we're going to have the go eat 11 different cheeses that you're going to go buy, and then we'll give you something free, but it's not that cool. But people will do it anyways, right? Yep. I feel like there's two things they're lacking on. One, they could easily take the focus on some of those things and make them just a little bit better. It doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit. Two, can we stop it with spirit jerseys? Just
oh, they're so comfy though.
and I'm okay with that. I know everyone
on this,
You're
but
just
they're
gonna have
so
one.
expensive. They
Yeah.
are not reasonable at all. They're like
No.
up to like $70 or $80 now to buy
Yep.
one.
Oh,
Yep.
I know.
And it's not something you're going to wear all the time. You're not. I mean, I'm not. I know you do occasionally.
they're comfortable.
Yeah.
We are in Pennsylvania where it gets cold, so you probably wear it more than I think.
I don't wear it out. I just wear it
Yeah,
around the house.
well, I mean, take it to camp or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I wear mine everywhere. I'm a little dork.
I don't get it. I don't understand how it can be 85 degrees out and people are wearing.
That's
spirit
ridiculous.
jerseys.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I can't. I'm sweating in a t-shirt. Like
Yep.
we need to stop this. The one that gets me is popcorn buckets. Like, why do we need a popcorn bucket for everything?
So many people like will wait for hours for popcorn buckets.
Yeah.
I don't understand that hype. I do like spirit jerseys. I will say that, but I've never paid full price for a spirit jersey, so I will hold on to that. But popcorn buckets, like people line up and like really wait for those things, and then sell them on there's like a black market for popcorn buckets.
Yep.
I do not. In Tokyo, have you seen some of those ones?
Yeah.
They're like super elaborate. Yeah, people like make a lot of money going to Tokyo and bringing back popcorn buckets.
Right.
Yep. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I get it. If you whatever you want to collect, cool. Because I collect weird stuff too. I'm not concerned.
What do you like to collect? What's a weird thing you collect?
I mean, we can get into it. I'm the beer nerd, so
nice.
It's collecting ticks on Untapped, but like random brewery, and like when I came out for D23, I researched the 4 breweries in Anaheim that I had to go see, right? So
cool.
I had Monkish before, so ran up to Monkish. We actually did. Have you done Blind Rabbit yet?
No.
The Speakeasy?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you have to.
Where? It's in
it's in Anaheim. It's about 10 minutes north of Land.
That's cool. No,
I
haven't really explored that scene up there. There's a witch, like a spooky bar that I went to up there, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Usually I just go back down, or Trader Sam's. You know, everyone goes there. But
I spent more time at Trader Sam's than I spent in the parks.
As you should.
As you should. Your Trader Sam's is superior. I will say that.
I love it. I love it.
It's smaller, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there is an outside component, and the food's amazing.
Oh, it's so good, and the drinks are awesome, and the people are amazing. The bartenders are always so.
The
good.
Bartenders are crazy good. Brandy's more of the rum drink fan, so
nice. Yeah, there's one that you can share between like 3 people, and they put cinnamon on the top and light it on fire. I forgot what it's called, but then all the bartenders like yell at the same time.
It's really Aoa. Aoa.
Oh,
Aoa.
Of course you know.
Of course
you know that.
Yeah, for someone who's always like just skip Trader Sam's, we go there a lot. Like it's just yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh, fine. Have you guys been to the Hangar Bar in Orlando? Oh, yeah. I keep trying to get out there, and I haven't been inside. My sister loves it, but it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones themed, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Springs is really kicked up. I think they did a great job with it. I'm actually excited for Land to get everything they're getting in the next 10 months.
Oh.
At Springs. You're downtown Disney, whatever it is. Like there's a new restaurant, a new bakery. This is all they announced, right? So we got Parks panel when we were out there. We actually cared to do that.
I'm proud of you guys for going to those panels. I never pay attention to that. I'm just outside taking pictures with people.
Yeah, we got Lucasfilm, Marvel, and that one was
big ones.
Yeah,
and the part, it's so much effort to get those. Good job.
It was a lottery this year, so we just got lucky.
For all of those,
we got so there were 4 of us that went. 2 of them, Steve and Corey kind of picked theirs together, and myself and our buddy Shep picked ours. And Shep and I got Marvel. We got Parks Panel. And those are the two that we cared. And then, we hit up the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, so the SEA panel, which was fantastic.
That's cool.
But yeah, we somehow BS'd our way to be like 6 rows behind Chapek for the Parks panel. Yeah, it was very interesting. That's an off-air story.
Well, I want to hear it. So
I'll tell you. Yeah, but yeah, it was crazy because like everything's going on in every other park, and then they're like, yeah, we should probably talk about Disney World too. So we're just gonna blue sky it and say maybe over there we might build something someday.
The blue sky thing is just ridiculous.
I love
to make people happy, like to just put them off.
I love blue skying things, but that's a podcast conversation. That's a boardroom or an imaginary conversation. No. We're gonna bring Happily Ever After back, and then we're gonna pretend that we might potentially do something later down the road. That's all it was for World, and I was completely disappointed.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the ideas seem to get pushed through a little bit faster. Like with Tiana's Bayou, I know that was like just a blue sky idea, and then all of a sudden they announced it, and everyone's like, what? Like that was blue sky. Like, what are we doing? Right. Okay, I guess let's build this thing, and now it's happening. So, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes they push through, but it seemed ridiculous to just put all of that at a panel.
Well, I think we'll see Zootopia. I'm
excited about that.
Instead of it opens in, was it Tokyo or is it Shanghai?
Oh, I'm pretty bad at stuff like that.
I forget as well. I think we'll see it taking over Dino Land in Animal Kingdom. I honestly think they're going to do that. They kind of threw out that and the Moana idea, but I don't know why Moana needs a fountain and then like Moana and Animal Kingdom doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it.
Yeah, I guess adventure-y. It's better than like Fantasyland. She doesn't really. Yeah.
Adventureland. If she's gonna go anywhere, she goes in Adventureland.
That's true. That's
where it should be.
Yeah. Animal Kingdom should be for animal movies.
You would think so.
You just have some chickens and.
True.
They could.
She's got the pig. She's got the cute pig.
Yeah. And the pig.
It's got hey ho or ho hey or hey hey. That's it.
You started saying it, and I was like, now I don't remember what it was.
Oh, hey,
hip hop hooray!
Hip hop hooray! Yeah, right. Little naughty by nature.
Building the whole like San Francisco out in California.
Right. Yeah.
Not too much of a change, but it's like at least they're getting some sort of like bringing a little bit more Disney into DCA instead of it just being like a random pier. Like, bad.
I mean, the scary part is I really enjoyed DCA. It's
fun. Yeah. But as an amusement park, it doesn't feel Disney at all, you know?
No. The only thing that feels Disney is whenever you walk back and it's like, oh, Incredicoaster. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and then that's all like still fairly new. So for that, they really didn't have very much at all. I don't know. Yep. I wish that they would put a Monsters Inc. roller coaster in because like when you're watching that movie with all the doors and everything, that's just like begging. A roller coaster. I don't know why they haven't done it yet.
You know the scuttlebutt, right?
No.
Studios, they're gonna put it in. Again, this is blue sky. This is all rumor. But the rumor is that they are going to retheme Rock and Roller Coaster to Monsters Inc. And if you think Sunset Boulevard, right? Going down to Tower and then Rock and Roller Coaster. On the Rock and Roller Coaster side, the whole way up to Toy Story Land is relatively open. So it's backstage, but they could theoretically take Toy Story Land. They have the new Rodeo Roundup Barbecue. And then beyond that, between there and the whole way down to where Rock and Roller Coaster is now, they're talking about basically Pixar Land.
That is so cool.
So
that happens.
Yeah. So Monsters Inc. Coaster has been rumored forever. They would think they would do that. They think they would do something Incredibles on the East Coast. And so it'd be fantastic. I know that it makes sense financially to retheme, but I'd like to have some new stuff, please. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So we got hit on Star Wars just because it's such a big thing, right? Plus you did a heck of a Ray.
Oh, thanks.
It was solid. It was that, and then we're recreating the pictures as well. Like, I know that's kind of a thing, but it was spot on. It was good stuff.
Thank you. That's all due to my photographer friend. His name's Brian. He had a BB-8 like full replica, and he knew like exactly the part of the desert to go to that they filmed Star Wars in. So we drove there and met there. Yeah, it was the most magical little photo shoot.
That was awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Of course, I was making my costume the night before too, even though I knew about it many months. My staff right here next to me. It's over here. What a lot. Yeah.
So if you could cosplay any Star Wars character, who would it be?
Well, I just did Darth Maul, and I did my husband as Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine. That was really fun. We did that for Star Wars night at Disneyland. And then I did Greedo for him, and I cosplayed Han Solo, and he did Greedo. But awesome. I made the Greedo helmet out of like paper mache and like skewers. That was a fun little project. That's probably like one of the most like random things I've done. My husband's office. Yeah, I would really love to cosplay. What's his name? Wow, why am I blanking? He's got all the arms.
Greedo? No. Begins with a W.
Wow. I'm blanking. I don't deserve to cosplay him anymore. So there we go. I don't get to. I have at least 3 that I started Star Wars that I haven't finished. I have a Padme outfit that is like half done that I just forgot about. I lost the momentum on it. I started the Slave Leia cosplay years ago and mostly done. I just haven't finished it. And then I have like a Jedi robe that I could easily do something with that too. So
right.
Yeah, right. I already said it earlier, but like if I gotta get going on a costume and just like power through. If I like get interrupted or like, don't finish in time, then I just like oftentimes forget to go back and actually finish it. So we'll do that soon, hopefully.
That's awesome. So if someone's looking to get into it, right? What's like step 1? Like, what do you need to know? What skills do you have to develop? Or is it just...
Step 1 is probably to just, like, don't care too much. I think that's, like, the biggest thing to tell people is, like, I am, like, such a perfectionist, but at some point you kind of have to, like, just let it go and, like, have fun with it. And it's not all, like, cosplay, I feel like can be really intimidating if you just look at pictures or, like, see people at cons and, like, think I can't do that. But, like, anyone can do it. And also, like, you can buy a costume and just go. Maybe your one thing for that con is to just learn how to style a wig. Then go buy a costume and, like, practice styling a wig. Or, like, maybe you want to practice makeup. Buy the whole costume and then practice your makeup with it, So, like, I think it has a lot of people think that you have to, like, fully make it all from scratch to be a cosplayer, and that's not true at all. I like to do that because that's what's fun for me, but I know some friends that like to commission because it's too stressful for them to have their machine break the night before, and you know what I mean, like they would rather just have it set up. But yeah, and then the thrift store thing, go to thrift stores, find stuff, like Anna has a blue skirt, go to a thrift store and find a blue skirt. Like, you don't need to order it on Amazon. Go thrifting. We have so much like fast fashion, and like our landfills are full of clothes. Go like try and save that a little bit. So a lot of my stuff is like reused, or I'll take a costume that I don't need anymore. Like the wedding dress that I've used a wedding dress for 3 cosplays now, and I'm sure I'll use it for many more. I use it for Corpse Bride and for Constance Hatchaway from Haunted Mansion, and then Vanessa as she's turning into like back to Ursula. I made it that one too, but you just add stuff on, take stuff off, and I don't know, just dive in. And also get yourself a Francis. Have you guys seen Francis on my Instagram story?
No.
I have him right here to show you on this podcast.
Who's Francis?
This is Francis.
I love it.
Francis is on a butt.
That's fantastic.
So I found this butt in an alley. And I was like, wow, that's a good butt. I need to have that. Actually, I have a friend that does like a lot of really weird artwork. And so I figured I'd just like get it for him and he could make a sculpture out of it. But I was making a Rapunzel wig at the time. And so I needed like a good heavy base to style wigs on. And so I taped a mannequin head on this foam or on this base to use for Rapunzel. And then that was like 10 years ago. So now here we go. Francis is like my ride or die. I use it to style all my wigs. It's perfect. Also, a hot tip for anyone that cosplays: use a man foam head wig. Don't use a female because the females are way too small. You put it on your own head and it doesn't fit your head. So make sure you use a man one. But yeah, I always style it. And then any road trip or like con that I go, I bring Francis because he's a really good wig holder. I just sit him in the back seat.
That's awesome.
Yep, he keeps me company. But it has spooked me many times in the night. I've come out to like get something and I forget he's on the chair. I'm like,
I think we have to end with Francis. Naomi,
yeah.
Thank you so much. Make sure you check out Naomi on all the things, Instagram and TikTok, both at That Tall
Not
Princess.
that much TikTok, but I'll hopefully get back on there. We'll see.
You will. You will.
Yeah.
That'll be the next that if you will
Next
have us.
project.
Yeah, if you will have us come back on, we can just talk TikTok the entire
There we
time.
go. I like that. All right. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. You're very fun.
Hold on. Thanks, Naomi. Hold on one sec.